if you have money you don't need for 4 years or longer, and you don't trust anybody, you buy Bitcoin. And I think maybe you get 30% a year for the next 20 years. If you have money you don't need for 4 years or longer, and you're in love with a business model, whether it's digital real estate, whether it's digital credit like my company, whether it's digital intelligence like NVIDIA, then maybe you buy the equity. If you think you can do better than 30% a year, right? And you've got a long time horizon. If you have money you need in the next 4 years or the next 4 weeks, you buy credit. You buy digital credit, ideally, because the digital credit's going to pay you 2 to 4 times more than conventional credit. And the digital credit we're describing probably performs like the S&P index or better, but without the volatility, with more stability, and that provides a solution for everybody and everybody's pool of capital, and everybody's got some money they need in 4 weeks, some money they need in 2 years, and then some money they want to invest forever and give to
different
their
investors.
And you think that through, and that's become very clear to us now. But I would say I probably couldn't have told you that a year ago. All I knew a year ago is we have a good thing, we're going to figure it out.
Let me ask you, so things are going good, things are going great. Everybody's happy, okay? Now we're down, this morning we're down, touched 95 or 94 or something.
Yeah.
MSTR's down on the year. How do you handle, and I'm asking for myself, how do you handle that when you have basically a ticker symbol on your t-shirt every day and people are judging you by the price of something? Like, what do people come up to you? Hey, get it up, Mike, get it up.
Well,
get the price up, man.
First of all,
and then I saw the Titanic. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I saw the Titanic this morning and you in front of it, the meme. You got the best memes on X. And then I think some other people are suggesting that the ship's going down somehow. Like
the ship we're referring to is the traditional establishment, and you want to step off.
Oh, got it.
Right. That meme in the Bitcoin community means Bitcoin's the lifeboat, fiat is the Titanic, and you should step off the traditional 20th century economy, whatever it might be. But how do I deal with it seriously? If you're running a company, you have to be making investments and taking actions that you think are going to improve the company 4 years out. Like everything we do, I expect to get a return within 4 years. I might be willing to wait 10 years, but I don't expect it to take 10 years. I expect that I'm doing things now that might pick up in 12 months or 24 months or 36 months. I don't think you can do things that are guaranteed to pay off in 12 months, because if you did, you would do nothing. And if you look at the company over the last 12 months, our stock raged. It went through the roof in November, December of 2024. But at that point, we had not raised $40 billion in capital. We had not generated $25 billion of BTC gains. We went from $5 billion in equity or $4 billion in equity to $60 billion in equity. We had not added $50 billion of equity. We had not invented digital credit. We had not done the first IPO, the second IPO, the third IPO, the fourth IPO. The fourth IPO was the biggest IPO in the country, in the United States this year.
The fourth was what?
Stretch.
Okay.
$2.521 billion. And then we hadn't done the fifth IPO, which is more IPOs than any company's ever done in the history of the capital market. So if you look at it,
not a bad year.
And the first 20 years of my life, I had $1 billion idea, which was MicroStrategy business intelligence software. And then I looked for the second $1 billion idea for 20 years, couldn't find it until 2020. And in 2020, I found the second idea, which was Bitcoin. And then the third idea, which was convertible bonds. And then the fourth idea, the ATM. And then this year, it was Strike, Strife, Stride, Stretch, Stream. And we hit $5 billion ideas. And Stretch is already a multi-billion dollar idea. And if it works, it'll be $100 billion or $1 trillion idea. And all of that is ignored in the market. So the market sentiment, the market sentiment is negative. And in the near term, it's going to be driven and overwhelmed by macro hysteria, right? Macro sentiment about the interest rate, about risk on, risk off assets. And if you ever listen to short sellers talk about their short thesis, they're strategically ignorant. Like they want to not understand anything you're doing because they just want to say something simple.
Yeah.
Oh, the company trades at a premium to the underlying asset. Ha, ha, ha. Well, so does every other company on earth. So does every bank, right? That's called price to book. Every finance company, every company on earth trades at a premium to assets. Of course it does. That's not the reason to short the stock. The reason to short the stock is you don't like the business, but the business is selling billions of dollars of digital credit. And so you have to have an opinion on that before you can have an intelligent short thesis. That we're not really at that level of the dialogue. So I'm certainly not going to do stupid, panicky things because there are other stupid, panicky people in the market, right?
Yeah.
That's like allowing yourself to be dumbed down to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, these guys are gambling. I mean, these guys are gambling for a short term.
And you also got to keep in mind, there's a lot of times the stupidest, most obnoxious post on X is the one that runs the hardest. And even the stuff that's not even true, someone posts something which is not true and not even believable.
Yeah, that you were selling this morning. I think somebody was saying you were selling.
That goes viral.
Yeah, totally.
Right, that goes viral.
Always goes viral.
So you can't take that too seriously. Yeah. Like you can dismiss it, as it's an unfounded rumor in about 5 seconds. But like, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about that.
Yeah.
I spend my time thinking about how do I launch a treasury credit instrument in Japan that I can sell $1 trillion of to the Japanese to invert the Japanese banking industry and capital markets. Right? That's what I'm spending my time on.
What's driving you, Mike? What's driving you? Like what keeps you up to get you thinking about doing this? Can't be money.
At this point, first of all, Bitcoin represents the apex property rights of the human race. It represents financial integrity and empowerment and economic rationale for the human race. So that clearly is a spiritual driver. And then I think in my professional life, what drives me at strategy is the realization there's $300 trillion of conventional credit and it's paying you like 200 basis points.
Right.
We live in a crippled credit economy. It's a yield starve. In what world does it make sense that $7 trillion in Japan yields nothing? Or that banks in Switzerland steal your money? Like you're getting negative 50 basis points in the Swiss franc. Or if you live in Europe, how is it fair or equitable or rational that every European is expected to accept 150 basis points from a euro money market for their capital when the fair free market value is somewhere 8 to 10%? So what drives me is why don't we just go give everybody 10% yield in euros and 10% yield in yen?
How much money?
And 10% yield in dollars.
Yeah.
And Grant, what's the perfect product? I'm going to tell you what I think the perfect product is. The perfect product is I give you 800 basis more than the risk-free rate in the currency of your obligations forever. Okay? The perfect product is a product where your unborn child benefits from it before they know it exists. You're deaf, you're dumb, you're blind, you're in a coma, your arm is broken, your eyes have gone bad. I used to think the iPhone was the perfect product, but we're on the iPhone 17 Pro Max.
Yeah.
They have to upgrade it every year. It's not the perfect product.
No.
If your eyes go bad, you can't even read the product.
Right.
How about I'm just going to give you money forever, a comfortable retirement, and you just do whatever you want? Pure economic energy. You buy this, and it just pays you for your life, the life of your children, the life of your children's children, the life of your great, 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 great grandchildren, and it's always more than the underlying inflation rate. Okay? That's the perfect product. So what drives me? Sell the perfect product to the entire world. You give 1 billion people Social Security, and you don't have to gamble your money on the latest equity idea. Why should you have to give your money to a hedge fund that charges you 2 and 20 when you could just have 10% tax deferred forever, no risk, and sell in and out of it whenever you want. And I think, how can you, if you convert 10% of the credit markets today, that's $30 trillion.
Jesus. That's what I was going to ask you. How big is that market? If you converted just 10%. 30 trillion.
10% today is 30 trillion.
You think that's real for you? You think you could get there?
We're not going to get there next year, but my point is...
You think it's real, though, in your lifetime?
Yeah, we're going to... 5 or 10% of the credit markets are going to become digital credit.
Okay. Why not? Somebody's going to service it.
Hey, Matt, what was the value of real estate before we had mortgages?
A lot less than it is.
Yeah, like if you want the value of a home or of real estate to go up, you have to build credit on top of it. If banks loan against it, the value of your real estate goes up. Mortgage-backed securities enhance the market.
What do you think about the 50-year mortgage?
And so the value of...
Hang on. What do you think about the 50-year? Because it just came out as a proposal.
Whatever. Okay, I'm in favor of giving long duration credit to retail investors. Yeah. Right? Like if you could borrow money on a conforming loan for 50 years at whatever, 5-6%, you could turn around and you can buy Bitcoin appreciating 20 to 30% a year.
It's positive. It's good
and
for the
you can do it without risk. It's good for you.
It's good for the government. It takes a load off the government.
Yeah. So in any event, I think there's mortgage-backed credit, there's corporate credit, there's sovereign credit. I'm on a mission to commercialize digital credit. If we become 5% of the market, it might take us 20 years.
Trillion.
And by that time, the 300 trillion is 600 trillion.
Yeah.
And the 5%, is 30 trillion. And if we raise 30 trillion and buy 30 trillion of Bitcoin, Bitcoin's going to be worth $300 trillion. And Bitcoin's going to $15 million a coin. And don't sell your Bitcoin, Grant. And it's going to make your digital real estate business the best real estate business in the history of real estate. People say John D. Rockefeller. Was John D. Rockefeller a sales guy, or did he give us unlimited energy and help us win World War I and World War II? And was Henry Ford a sales guy when he said everybody ought to have a car
and it should be black?
It's like, at the end of the day, if you invent a product that everybody needs that makes everybody's life,
salesman,
makes their life better, the reason that you're an effective sales guy is because you come up with a product that changes the world.
Yeah.
And trust me, I've met a lot of good sales guys selling garbage.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers them as being good sales guys because eventually the product fails.
That's right.
No one's, it's not respecting the population. The billion people that buy stuff are smart enough to know whether the motorcycle works and the plane flies and the car drives. And the reason that people like Starlink is because it works.
Yeah. Do you have Starlink on your plane yet?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Was it worth doing it?
Yes, it was. It's revolutionary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look, I mean, technology works. The reason we love AI is not because it was sold to us. It's because you have a complicated problem, you punch it in, and the AI gives you a good answer. You're like, oh my God, this is actually quite a good answer. And so if the product works, it's easy to be a good sales guy.
Yeah.
And maybe I might say, if your product works and you think you're going to change the lives of 1 billion people for the better, you get motivated to go sell it.
Yeah, Ivan, listen.
And when you know your product is crappy or garbagey, you're selling an airplane from a kit that's going to kill 1/10 of the people that fly it, deep down in your soul, you don't quite have the same religious fervor because it's not the greatest product. And so
this guy sells $80 billion in debt a year, by the way, on adjustables.
Sell the thing that works, right?
Okay, what happens?
Not that complicated.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I love salespeople too. So
yeah.
Selling great products. What happens to? And I see you more as an innovator. I mean, you're a massive disruptor. You're going to disrupt centuries of finance. Anyway, that's my version of you.
Our message is: why would you keep your money in a bank getting 0 or a money market getting 3% after tax when we'll give you triple? Or
what happens to the banks? We have 4,600 banks in America. Do we have
10,000 of them went out of business in the 20s, and we still got infinite banks. It's going to go on because it takes a long time to change the world.
Yeah, yeah.
We sold 1% of 1% of the treasury credit in the market. So the biggest IPO of the year was 1 basis point of the market.
Wow.
When stretches when Stretch is a $300 billion business and we're a multi-trillion-dollar company, it's going to be 0.5%.
Wow.
And people are going to be like, well, it's still a small part of the market, right? I mean, how big do you have to be to get noticed? You have to be 5%. And when you're 5%, that would make us a $10 trillion company and we'll still be a small new thing.
Yeah.
So I think the banks will go on, the status quo will go on.
Yeah.
This is just going to be empowering for the innovators, and it's inspirational to the people that get on board this decade.